Hello and welcome back to Rei-Jin-G-Lu-P. I was going to say Raging Wolf. So last time the werewolf game started for real and we had a really bad seer reveal here. So I've actually started taking notes too to try to keep track of my reads on the characters. So my two reads right now, my two strongest reads. One, I think he's a good guy because he immediately was mad at his seer reveal. And I think that would be hard to fake as a wolf really quickly like he did. And my other read is she seemed really confused about the special roles. So that kind of makes me think that she is a villager or possibly a wolf. Actually, the tiniest read, I'm not writing this one down because I don't have any really evidence for it, but I just feel like he could be a wolf. Like he kind of joined in on him. He's like, yeah, you shouldn't reveal seer. But that's just a pretty weak read. I mean, he could do that as a villager too. Also, this guy isn't necessarily doing this. That doesn't really mean it's a villager. He could also have another powerful role and be mad that he's revealing, just because he figured it out early on that he shouldn't. So. No, he does know shit. He knows more than you. You did nothing good here, for real. There's strategy, and you just threw the strategy out the toilet and got yourself killed. Yes, exactly. And that's still important, still, even though the biggest role has already been revealed, which sucks for them, for the good guys. But it's still important to keep the bodyguard hidden, and it's still important to keep the person that can check the role of the person that died hidden, because those are still really important. So. And I'm guessing in this game there's going to be more than one game. If there's not, that's going to be weird. I mean, it's going to be a long game, and there must be a lot of twists and turns, but I feel like it would be too easy to figure it out too early if there's just one game played. Duh. Sorry, that was just the most basic thing ever. You don't need to say that. Oh, the thing is, I mean, there are mind games here. I mean, if the wolf thinks he's going to be protected, then they could choose to target two other people. And then so the mind game is, well, maybe the bodyguard won't even protect him, and then they'll be able to protect him the next night, you know? But yeah. The obvious play is the bodyguard's going to protect the seer because the seer's revealed, but that will keep him alive for one more day, but that's all you'd get. Or you can take the gamble. If the gamble works, and let's say they kill two people, the bodyguard doesn't die, and then the bodyguard protects him the next day, and then they try to kill him, and the bodyguard blocks that, that means they actually get 2 more days out of him than they should have gotten. Well, or is it just 1? So 1, 2, no, it would be 2, yeah, 2 full days more. And they'd block a kill. But then they risk the wolf actually targeting him just to be safe, etc. So. I mean, that's basically just saying, do your role. What? Alright, Shammy. Why would the seer lie? The only reason he's gonna lie is if he's the wolf. Oh, I guess there is. Okay. See, I mean that is something that's different. Is that like so? I'm considering this from a normal werewolf game, right? But this is real life for real stakes, you know. So, like, does he have a relative in here? Yeah, he's is he their other brother? I don't think he is. I don't know if he's related to this guy either. I don't know. But he could, like, he has someone close and he checks them and he finds out they're a wolf. He may not want to reveal it to keep him alive or whatever, but yeah. Normally, in a normal game, there'd be no reason for them to ever lie. So they have an option not to hang people? Also, that's not smart. That's not actually... So for strategy, okay? The wolves, it looks like can kill 2 people a night. The only way for the villagers to kill a wolf is to vote them off. So they never want to pass up their tool, which is voting. Like, this is their only way they can find the wolves and kill them. If they don't vote people out, they don't win. And there's no reason to, like, wait and, like, let's see, you know, because this is their only way to get them. So yeah, I don't think that's a good strategy. Even just picking randomly would probably be a better strategy than not voting someone off. Also, another element of strategy to this game is, like, let's say you try to accuse her, but he defends her. And then later on you find out, oh, she was a wolf. Then you remember, oh, but he also kind of swayed that away. So then that gives you a reason to suspect him. And it may help you find a wolf that way. Wait, why? No, he shouldn't. That's bad strategy. Because now the wolf will just target that person. And it'll be like, oops, you didn't get a view. No. Bad strategy. You shouldn't be doubting the seer. That's not the way to win. He may be a wolf. Because right now he is proposing stuff that helps the wolves. And I already kind of suspected him being a wolf. See, yeah, the weird thing is the psychology with human or with actual lives. But the thing is, I mean, you want the wolves dead. I mean, even if you take in the psychology, I mean, if there's someone among you hiddenly that's gonna kill everyone, I mean, you want them out, right? I mean, I would think that would change your opinion. And then also, it even maybe made it sound that maybe they aren't even the real person. Like, it's a wolf, but like it really is a bad person that's like replaced your friend. Now, if that's the case, you definitely want him dead. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still trusting him, but this makes my trust in him goes down. This guy is my main suspect right now. Although it's also possible that the wolves are just being quiet. Like, this person said nothing, this person said nothing, this person said nothing. She said nothing. Mochi said nothing. Hasn't really said much. Hasn't said anything. Hasn't said, you know, I mean, there's very few people speaking, so. Usually a wolf will often hide among the quiet people. Yeah, but there's 2 untrustworthy people among you that are wolves. Yeah, I don't know. I think they're playing this wrong. I think they should just say, ignore the seer right now. And just try to guess somebody. I don't know how. I mean, I guess my reasoning, I would just maybe save a vote for him, because I think he's given some bad advice. See, this is kind of interesting, though. This actually puts a traceable thing. If they actually go around and ask everybody, because the wolf's probably not going to say, hey, you should check out that other wolf right there, you know? That I like. That's a really good strategy. I like that. But again, they shouldn't be discussing it. Well, I mean, they can discuss it, but they shouldn't say who he's going to see. Because that gives the wolves a target. Definitely. But that also makes him look good. And then he's asking to be viewed, which makes him look good. No, it's not. And right there, Ty just gave me a that's a good read right there. I don't think a wolf right here would not be trying to argue, vote somebody off. They would be like, oh yeah, don't vote anybody off. Just let us keep killing. Interesting. Alright, I just edited my notes to update my reads. Unfortunately, waking up proved that this whole mess wasn't just a nightmare. That's interesting that we have a perspective outside of our main character. Because you wouldn't really think that, because we seem to be the detective of the story. And now it's kind of annoying. I hope he finds out fast, because now we know all this stuff that he doesn't do, or know. Yeah. Yes. You're supposed to preserve the scene of a crime, right? This is doing the exact opposite. Then again, it didn't seem like anyone expected the cops to show up in the first place. So this is interesting that... Is there really no reason to investigate for evidence? I mean, I guess everyone turns into wolves, right? So, like, you're not going to leave fingerprints. But, I mean, you could try to, like, investigate, like, rooms and stuff. But, like, to see if anyone left their room, but... Chiemi took me to the place where I'd met Rikaku and Meiko. It was a grass field with stones littered all over and bordered Saranaga. So this is where the tombstones are. I guess we're going to bury the new bodies here. So weird-ass religion. This place was filled with dense mist, but it's probably thinner than that in the rest of the settlement. The sunlight seemed brighter here. I could even see a bit farther. The hanging pine had to be the old-looking tree at the edge. I asked, ignoring what I'd seen for myself. Jimmy's voice resounded through the impossibly thick, cloudy air. You saw one, dude! Is that obvious? It wasn't like I found it disgusting or anything. I just didn't think I could get along with people who believed stuff like that despite a lack of actual proof. So yeah, normally I would agree with you. I'm a pretty cynical person in terms of, like, if I don't have any evidence to believe something, I'm not going to believe it. I don't believe easily. But you have evidence, dude. You've seen the freaking monster with your own eyes. Now, I know to you it seems like a vision. So maybe you think that there's a dream or a hallucination or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. That was probably how it was.
じゃあ理由を聞きたいな。
理由？そんなのないよ。
そうは思えないんだが。
Because she knows they exist?
言ったらそうだな。神様を見たことがあるから。
And what about just, like, having seen the dead bodies and stuff? I mean, there's something going on here, dude. You even said yourself it didn't look like it was done by a human. That was a...
ほら、気持ち悪い。
詳しく聞かせてほしい。
おっと、引かないね。でもそれはともかく、もっと
She was
直
hiding
近の危機
something.
について話そうよ。
It was either that hard to explain or a lot more important than she was acting.
宴とやらについてか。
チエミエクスプレイン。
Yay!
イエーイ説明って意味ね。
A graveyard probably wasn't the place to joke around like this, but at least you could see past her nose, and it didn't seem like we had to worry about anyone eavesdropping. I tried putting together everything Jamie told me. First, Fujiyoshi Village had a unique legend. There might have been similar ones somewhere outside, but I just treated it as Fujiyoshi exclusive for the time being. The people here worshipped a god called Great Lord Shinai, Avatar of Shinai, or just Shinai-san. Also, the mountain this village was on was called Mount Shinai, meaning this religion deified a mountain. Wow, I can't speak at all. Anyway, sometime in the past, not known when, Shinai-san had helped the people living here by sending 5 beasts called guardians. However, just like nature could be really harsh, he had a scary side too, and if you didn't follow his laws of the mountain, he'd curse you without mercy. The Okami-sama was the ultimate form of his cruelty. Though the Okami-sama watched over the hunt, the Okami-sama also oppressed, tortured, and punished humans. The other guardians, though, were largely benevolent ones. The snake predicted the weather and harvest yields, bolstering the humans' prosperity. The monkeys defied the wolves, secretly teaching the people of fire. Secretly teaching the people of fire. Okay, that's actually... For once, it's the one messing up the words and not me. Secretly teaching the people fire, along with other important bits of knowledge, I think is what they're trying to say. Or the secret of fire, or how to make fire. The crow pecked at and ate up the flesh of the Yomibito, the enemies of Shinai-san. The spider warded off the Yomibito and ensured that the humans slept and dreamt soundly. The Yomibito did indeed mean people from Yomi, as in the land of the dead, but apparently it wasn't very clear what they actually were. But just as I suspected before, it was thought they had something to do with the corruption, death, and the land of Yomi. Oh my goodness. Okay. The most likely idea was that they were dead. They were the dead that had returned from Yomi to bring harm to the people still alive. At the start of the legend, Shinai-san, the animals, and the humans were facing the Yomibito. Alright, I think I'm actually not going to read the rest of this out loud, because I think it's going to go on for a long time, and you guys can read. I'm hoping so. Also, I don't think this is kind of stuff we already know. Like, we know the important stuff, the role they have in the game. Feast of the Yomi Purge. I'm so glad I'm not reading all this. This is interesting. I'm just thinking it's so hard to make the game of werewolf into like a religion. But that's basically how you have to do it to translate it to reality, because otherwise, why wouldn't you? Like, if you're suspicious of 3 people, you can just kill those 3 people and not give the wolves a chance to kill more at night. And that improves your chances to win. But by their religion, they're only allowed to kill 1. There's a lot to unpack, but I got the gist of it. Basically, the humans betrayed the Okami-sama, one of their guardian divinities. Divinities? You mean guardian deities? I've never seen divinities used like that. And we're still paying the price. But there were still some points I didn't really get.
ちえみちゃんにだけ言うけど、僕はどうもその
嘘。
トイレのドアの隙間から見えたような。
I couldn't tell her that I had a realistic dream where I was killed.
人間の体に狼の頭。
嘘。
ああ、それはこいつマジでも。
新内さんのお祭りでも狼様は人身露面で描かれるし、上藤吉に祀られてる像もそうだし。
ちなみに僕はその前後に女性の悲鳴を聞い、それはいわゆる血祭りなのか？殺して入れ替わるの話だったら彼女の死体が出るわ。
ごめん、説明し忘れた。新内さんの掟は厳しいから。
さっき言ってたや
つまりその宴の支度としてお風呂に入って一人で鍵かけて閉じこもって寝るというのに触れちゃったから、だから汚れで死んじゃったということだと思うわけ。
I couldn't see how you get such mutilated corpses from something called the corruption, but there's something more important. Yeah, I don't get this corruption thing, because it doesn't go along with the rest of the game. Like, the wolves are killing these people. We know this, don't we?
ということはあの夜、君はその掟の存在も知らずに僕を便所マン化し、挙句に死なせる気満々だったんだな。
That's a really harsh accusation right there. You're accusing her of trying to kill you.
違うよ。あのね、正直よそ者はどうやっても助からないって思ったんだ。
You're just trying to give him a chance. Like, hide, and maybe you'll be able to.
だけどせめて、もしかしたら生き残れるかもしれない方法を伝えたくて。
You don't trust her, dude?
そしてなんと本当に
Yeah, she's the one that kept you alive. And here you are accusing her.
春明さんには悪いけど、相当意外だった。
And we also know she was like frantically searching for us the next morning. Now, I don't think she's clear from being a wolf, by the way. Because I don't think that would have been decided then. Yet. I think there's a possibility she's a wolf. But I just mean, as a person, like, I trust her completely. I think she has our best interest at heart, but if she's a wolf, she's a wolf.
残念だったね。ブッシュブッシュ殺された。
Why does he keep saying these things? Why are you turning on her?
ふざけないで。私は春明さんが死ななくて本当にその良かったと。
I wasn't sure how to feel this, but hey, at least she tried, right? She saved your freaking life, dude. Like you were gonna die, like a 100% if she didn't say anything, and even after she told you exactly what to do, you still went and killed yourself through stupidity. I don't like always blaming her.
じゃああの悲鳴は結局間宮さんの。
それはちょっと。
例えばぶっちゃけてあの時の悲鳴が君のもので君はすでに狼だって話も考えられるのか。
まあ話の上はもちろん私は自分が狼じゃないって知ってるし。
みんなそう言いますよ。
その通りだけどね。
Now this was a predicament.
質問その1。
はいどうぞ。
狼様が2人いるってことの根拠はあのマークだけなの？
I recalled the strange symbols on the large rock. The two warped diamonds with spirals inside.
あれは黄泉から戻った狼様の印だから、あれが2つあるってこと。
憶測なわけだね。
I don't think so. I think it's the rules of the game.
でも多分そうだよ。山祭りっていうのがあって、毎年お守りの狼様の役が何人出るか似たような方法で発表され。
そもそも狼様は複数。
一応神内様の社には
Also, 2 people
3人の
died.
狼様の像が
So if each wolf gets to kill each night, that explains that.
お祭りに何人の狼様が出るかは占いか。
ああやって。
置き場、ああいう岩は上富士吉にないから。そうじゃなくて。
So this would be interesting if there are multiple games and they change up these rules and stuff. You know, like all of a sudden there's 3 wolves, all of a sudden there's more wolves, maybe even. Like maybe there's a game that, like, you know, almost half the people are wolves and you have to get a wolf every time when you vote them off or something. Maybe different powers are being played, although it doesn't seem like that will happen.
らしい。
休みずのものはお守りのご来訪。
とにかくその時。
厳密にはあのひし形にぐるぐるってなったのは地獄から復活した狼様のサイン。
なるほど。でも
そうそう、お祭りだと3人いたらめでたいらしいよ。
Chie herself didn't look the least bit happy to talk about it. Anyway, all I had to take from this was that there were at most 3 Okami-sama wolves. I don't think there's 3, dude. I had to fix my perception of the situation. The wolves were a group of 3 werewolves. I wasn't too well versed in myths and folklore, but I certainly hadn't heard of any Japanese myth about werewolves or wolfmen. I did hear of Jinmenken and possession by fox spirits, but werewolves did seem like a very European thing. On the other hand, the fact that there were 3 of them seemed pretty standard. I guess it had something to do with presentation, trinities and all that. But the idea of 3 werewolves did seem a bit excessive in terms of content. Anyway, I now had a better grasp of the situation. That made it easier to understand what's going on here. Why does he assume there's 3? I don't understand why you're making that leap.
じゃあ他の守護獣の加護を受ける人は？
猿だけ2人で。
そうか。じゃあお守り狼が複数いるのは参ったな。
手強いって意味。
それもあるけど1日に1人しか殺せないんだろ。複数いればそれだけ全滅までに時間がかかることになる。
Yeah, and they chose to not kill today. That's pretty bad.
ああ、そうか。狼が1人しかいなかったらカラスもいるはずないのか。
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, the crow's the priest, basically the person that checks the dead to see if they were a wolf or not. to whereas if you got the wolf, the game's over. You won. If there's only one wolf.
どうして？
カラスの能力はつまり狼が死んでも変身が
So yeah, I'm thinking he's going to be in the game next session in the feast,
人間っぽい
and I'm assuming that that's going to be a really good thing because it seems like he's more strategically sound in this than they are.
だからカラスの能力は有用になる。
それはそうかも。
もし狼が一人しかいないとします。
Nobody dies that night because the wolf's dead and the game's over.
答えは何も起きない。正確に。
あ、そういうことか。つまり狼が一人だけならカラスの加護がいらん。
ご明察。
春明さん鋭い。
いや、気づいても何にもならないポイ。
にしてもこの状況でよく頭が回る。
じゃあなんだって言うんだい？
I am curious about him.
探偵とか。
いいね。田舎の難事件を解決しに来た。
普段は浮気調査と債務調査が仕事。
急にリアルになったな。狼は一日に何人まで殺せる？今日の晩には全員皆殺しとかだったら話にならない。
Looks like one per wolf.
それもないでしょ。さっきの話だけど、蛇とかは誰を調べるか今夜。
そうだろうね。雲だって一人守って自分いや、最初に疑問だったのがね、間宮さんと橋本さん二人死んでるのは血祭りの結果なのかどうかさ。二人殺せるのでも相当にヤバい。しかしまあそうなると別の疑問も出る。
不思議。
See, I was thinking that too. So in the bad end, it was probably the reporter and us that died. And, or not the reporter, the critic. And the food critic. So if the other two died, then you could just run out there and be like, hey, wolves, and they can't kill you. I think this is more just going along with the game mechanic, though.
それもよくわからないけど、別に狼は
Because they're going along with religion.
狼もまた
Yeah.
何かの掟みたいなものに従ってる。
That was what bothered me so much. The Feast of the Yami Purge had rules, and breaking them would mean being taken by the corruption. Oh. Some sort of supernatural punishment from Shinai-san. So, if a wolf broke the rules, they would die? Along with anyone else? This is really just divine retribution. Surely he would want the Yomabito done away with immediately. However, instead, the humans retained the aid of their guardians, and only one kill was permitted each day. Even the wolves couldn't break that rule. Were the laws of the mountain equally binding to both man and wolf? Yes. In Christian theology, both humans and Satan were God's creations, equal before him, and all acting based on his master plan. Was the god of the mountain similarly inclined? A legend of slain wolves and their revenge. Was it really that simple? Or was there something else going on? It was quite scary. And I wanted to know all about it. I mean, you just saw two people die. Does that not count for anything?
そうだね。というか、本当に
Yes, definitely Chiani. Come on. That's why you should have voted.
もう二人も死んでるじゃん。実際は顔を盗まれた誰かも死んでるかもしれないけど。
I mean, that seems obvious, right? They had to. Or they're like trapped somewhere.
まずい。死体片付けるならできるだけ調べておかないと。複数人の死体が。
それ、朝一で肝臓じいちゃんが
本当？彼は
漁師だから。動物ばらすのは
Who is this? Probably Kansa, that's what I was guessing. But that made sense.
思い出した。ある意味もっと大事なことだ。
Ooh.
どうしてここを逃げ出して
Yes! I'm very curious about this. Oh, come on. Please, you promised to tell me stuff.
はぐらかさず話してもらうよ。
Yes, this is super important for me to believe this game right now. I mean, alright, I don't believe it, but you know what I mean. I was aware that the people here were superstitious, but those superstitions are getting people killed. So why was not a single person objecting?
ここからは逃げられない。
Why? Explain.
どういう意味か。
ちょっと難しい。けど私たちは
Explain!
どうやったってここから逃げられない。
So you can't escape when the mist is here?
絶対にでき
You
ない。
freaking went to college and left this place and you came back here. What are you doing, Jimmy? I guess this thing doesn't really happen. So this has all been myth before this and now it's actually happening. But so I guess that explains it a little bit.
知っているからあえてそれをやりたくない。
Have you tried? I mean, it's just you haven't.
それは体験または
Yes.
ごめん、はっきりはわからないんだ。宴が始まれば誰も休みずからは逃げられない。
So it wasn't logic but blind conviction. Or perhaps he subconsciously gained that knowledge through some experience. Yeah. As if.
根拠はないが、ここからは出られないと思うわけだ。
そうだね。多分みんなそう言うと思う。
ただの盲信である可能性は否定しない？
否定はできない。
I think those odds are going down drastically. You know, I would have thought they were very high if I lived in this village before today, but after last night, no.
山の神に無視されたらしい僕が一人で外に行ってみるよというのを提案したらどうかな？
私は全力で止める。他の人がそれに賛
Oh
成
yeah,
した
you'd
と
be
したら
breaking the
春
rules.
明さんは死んでもいいって意味。
But I thought he wasn't part of the game, you argued. That was pretty scary.
心配してもらえてるって
Of
ことかな？
course she is, you moron.
休みずで一番心配してます。
Obviously.
ありがとう。愛を感じるよ。
はい。
She's going all right on me now. This seems to be taking it pretty far for an act. Alright, I'm going to end this video here. So, till next time.